that. But speaking of rants, here's another spicy topic here. The Cowboys had a much-needed victory on Monday night against the Chargers. And it was an entertaining game. One would say, Ken Brad, the Chargers might have mismanaged as well, especially not taking points early in the game. And then the Cowboys got the win, squeaked it out. Micah Parsons, big reason towards the end, got to the quarterback, applied pressure. But it was more of what he said after on his own podcast, talking about how other teams should bring the same energy as they talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to pull that up for you right now.
Condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the same energy for the Eagles. We want the same energy for everybody because there's a whole bunch of bashing when it's Dak Prescott, but not the same when it's the Eagles. I got time today. A lot of people said the Browns defense was overhyped. I said the Browns are the real deal. Acho said this, which pissed me off. I'm not worried about the 49ers. They were missing Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel. The Browns were missing Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb. They were missing them key factors before the game even started. So why is it that we are just scrubs and we're nobodies that don't deserve to be on the field and we're just all talk? But there's 100 excuses for these other teams. If y'all just want to hate Cowboys Nation, just say y'all hate Cowboys Nation. I'm tired of people trashing my quarterback. I'm tired of people trashing my team. And that's why I had nothing to say to the media this week. You want to hear me talk? Come to hear me talk on The Edge Monday night. And that's point blank period.
All right. So obviously pretty animated stuff from Micah Parsons. I got to say he was right on some things, except for Dak. He does suck. But, the 49ers got a huge pass for losing to the Browns. And Micah hit the nail on the head. And we actually talked about this. Was it Monday that we talked about this? Where I was just like, are you kidding me? The Browns are missing half their team and they still balled out and took it to the 49ers. And listen, it was Debo's fault for starting the fight. I mean, they just fired him up. Just blame it on Debo. But nevertheless, look, the Browns are for real. Yeah, the Ravens hung 28 points on them. But I mean, we talked about this earlier. The reason for that was Ravens just ended up capitalizing on some really good field position opportunities, and that's kind of why the score got ran up on that. But their average points per game is near the top in the league, and so and yards per game allowed. So yeah, I would agree that the Browns are for real. The Niners did not deserve a pass, but I also kind of agree with the Cowboys defense. Micah Parsons is an absolute dog, and there's got other guys on that team. Stephon Gilmore had an interception last week, so like there's just really good players on that team. But I don't know necessarily if people are really trashing the Cowboys except for Stephen A. Smith all that much. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you, Brad. He said a lot of really good points. Like he spoke the truth on a lot of things. I also agree. I think there's a place in time for
that mug is something.
Continue on.
Keep going.
I think there's a place in time for like him to go at, other teams. And it just was funny to me that he was so focused on the 49ers, despite the fact he was saying he wanted the same talk that the Eagles were getting. So I feel like I don't know if the 49ers were the team to do that with. I think he should have made the point more with the Eagles, went out there and dropped that game. And when it's us, the world's ending. When it's the Eagles, it's, Jalen Hurts just had a rough game. They're going to get back. It's still the Eagles. So I think he had more of a point there where I think the Browns 49ers game was, Brad, you called it was just a low scoring, playing in the rain, just two teams trying to run the football, see what happens.
Yeah.
So I think he had more of a point with the Eagles game, but I agree with what he says. Besides the Dak stuff again, it's
all right here. Okay, I will say this. I understand that you want to give the same energy, and I'm all for that. Having said that, how I look at it with Dallas, and it's not trying to be a hater on Dallas. The teams that they're telling to keep the same energy for have at least been teams that have gone places the Cowboys haven't gone in decades, not years, decades. So San Francisco lost to the Chicago Bears to start the season last year. Okay? Chicago Bears. Woof. Rough game. Then, if I'm not mistaken, the 49ers have been to the NFC Championship game the last 2 seasons. The Rams, they lost to the Rams, and then Brock Purdy got hurt. Okay. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles, who just went to the Super Bowl. So I'm not sitting here saying you should keep the same energy, but if I'm going to talk about a confidence meter and on teams where, hey, it's not the same energy, because if we were to say right now who I think's a better team, I'm going to take the 49ers and I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Cowboys, no matter what's happened in the regular season, they haven't earned the right to say, hey, keep that same energy. That's like saying for a lot of people that doubted the Orioles this season, I'll just say this. You know, I don't blame if people are saying, because the Orioles hadn't been there in a while. Yeah. So I get it. And now that drum's going to still beat louder until the Orioles go to the ALCS or go to the World Series. That's the reality. So for Micah, I get it. He's a beast. That Dallas defense can have problems, but until you beat those teams and actually get to a place and try to prove that point, to me that comes off as you haven't earned that right yet. You go beat the Eagles, you go beat the 49ers, you get back to the not the Super Bowl, get to the conference championship. You guys can then have that same energy. But until then, you're a team that's trying to just find a way. And so far, it's been a very up and down ride for the Cowboys so far.